Welcome to Nobody Knows with Joe Coffee, powered in part by Classic of Denton.
Nobody knows Joe Coffee.
Nobody knows Joe Coffee.
Nobody knows Joe Coffee.
Oh, I did not know. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Sure. Nobody knows Joe Coffee.
Nobody knows Joe Coffee.
Hey! Now just go wop 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 wop.
Wop, 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 wop.
Perfect. Did you laugh?
No.
Guess I should be sharing this. Oh, we're live?
Did you just say
There's no
this is
music?
gonna be weird?
There's no beat? There's no... Oh,
Hey,
man. Here
what's
we are.
up?
Uh-oh.
The most awkward intro
production
ever.
value. Hey.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Well, we're live now without loud musica. How's it going, man?
Good.
First time that we've done this where it's just us two in a very, very long time. We're both very, very ill-prepared right now.
Just no music and us.
Yeah,
chatting.
this is like the first time I haven't like hung out with you before the show. And
Ooh,
here
hey.
he comes. There he is.
Whoa, everything's
Jake.
changed. Hey, what's
Oh.
up? Welcome to the show,
The
ladies and gentlemen. We are
professionalism
here.
Has entered the
I'm
building.
Richie Flo. We're here with Joe Coffee,
Oh, your co-host.
my host.
With the most. Episode 21.
See, I'm glad we don't do the show like that. We could be those people.
Right. Where it's just like kind of organized. and
Hey
seems
guys,
like we know
and
what
we're back.
I'm trying to find it so I can now share it to other pages because we're giving away wristbands.
Prizes. Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Wristbands to a comedy festival today. That's not us, man. That's
Wristbands.
you and another. Oh, that was last week. Well, we're doing it right now. That's a thing. So I guess all transparency given to the audience, we clearly were not ready for today. Richie didn't get to go do any
Yeah.
street interviews today.
Here's the thing. I probably could have done them. It's
You
not-
could have. You know, when you told me you
Every
weren't at the
time-
square.
Every time you would call me and say that you were 30 or 40 minutes more out, I was like, all right, I'm just going to chill here.
No, I wasn't 30 or 40 more minutes out. I kept adding 30 or 40 minutes
Yeah.
to the 2 hours I had given you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But I'm at a very, very, very pivotal point in Dexter where
Oh, my God. That's
you
what
know.
it is, Dexter? I thought you were working on mine. No, I straight up woke up this morning, got a little bit before noonish, got to the rental car place because my car is now in the shop because of a hit and run that I was obviously not the
Can
one
you
who
talk
ran.
about that much?
I don't think I can't not talk about it. I mean, I was parked on a street over off Austin Street. You know how, like, all the Denton streets are, like, super narrow? I was just parked on the street. I woke up one day or one morning, and, yeah, my thing had got hit. And then recently I was in Austin, and some lady had backed into me. So both not my fault. Both insurance are taken care of. But I took my car.
Your insurance is taking care of it?
My insurance is well, both insurances are working together. I
The
just have
people
to,
who hit
I-
you left their insurance?
No. Okay. So the person that hit me in Austin that wasn't a hit and run. Like,
Yeah.
they stopped and got out of the car.
That
The
was
first
just a
one was
hit.
a hit and run while I was asleep, and I walked outside and my car had been hit
Okay.
the next morning because you know how Denton streets are super narrow. It was kind of close to Square area, so I'm sure
Square.
I speculate there may be some drinking and driving, but also whatever. So the lady in Austin, I've been dealing with hers, all states. I have Farmers, and it's just been
They're going to fix your whole
claim numbers and all that, like reservation numbers. And so I got to Denton Enterprise today. I kept saying Esurance before. I got to Enterprise today, and I guess they had a reservation but didn't hold it.
Yeah.
So I had to go to North Louisville.
You
I didn't
a
have
little hair
my.
right
I have
on
a
the
hair
mic.
on me.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
good. It's gone.
No, and then I had to go, and my car was already in the shop, so I didn't have my insurance card. I had to go get my insurance. It was a deal. It was an ordeal.
It was an ordeal, which... Yeah.
Which what? You got anything to say?
No, it
Anything
just
adult?
left me some rest time.
See, I feel like-
I've been...
I feel like you can't connect with you not driving right now. This
I'm like,
isn't
yeah,
really
so
like
what?
this is a dead end.
You should
this
have
conversation.
V-biked.
Okay, well so that was the thing. Like I kept calling you, and I was like, "Hey man, maybe find a ride to the square, go do the interviews."
The thing is, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to get paid, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get the regular $14.95 pass for unlimited bikes per month.
Right.
So
Wait,
I
I pulled up though, and there was a V-bike in front of your house.
But I
you
don't
had
have.
not.
I don't have the. I only have $1. So.
Jake, are we live right now? Why can I not find it to share it? I can't find it on the Facebook page to share it.
But yes, I several times I thought about just riding a V-bike over, but several times I just talked myself out of it. So
wait, so why didn't you take one today? The awkward
I
intro.
only had $1. It'd been raining, and so the
How much
ground's
does it
really
cost
wet.
again?
Only $1. But it was raining, and I had ridden it earlier, and it just got all of me muddy because the tires.
Yeah, well, there we go.
And
We're
I kept
live,
splashing.
and you should have totally rode, but we are live now, so I'm going to post on the Facebook. If you are on Facebook watching this or listening to this right now, you should go like, share, and comment on that thing because, yeah, you can win maybe a free wristband to the North Texas Comedy Festival, which is happening
right now.
Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. 5 different shows. Really, yeah, 5 different shows.
You can
and
split
an
that
after
into
party.
10 different shows if you use the restroom.
$20. First off, not only can you win one for free right now on this show, but it's only $20 for the 3 days. $20.
Yeah, it's like you're winning a stamp.
You're okay. I don't know what that means. What
it's
is
like
winning a stamp?
It's just $20. You're winning.
You're paying $20,
but you might as well pay.
You're paying $20. You get to see a bunch of awesome comedy anywhere from Texas to LA to Austin to whoever we got, and you're also getting a cool, fashionable wristband, kind of like the Live
Are they
Strong
cool wristbands?
bands.
Do you have them right now on you?
I don't have one on me. That's the thing. If you do win today, we will be saving your name, and I am a part of the festival.
Oh, so
heavily,
you don't win a
I will
wristband, you win a will call.
No, you get the wristband. You go to you're gonna go to one of the shows tomorrow, being the first show at Killer's Tacos, in replace of my open mic, 8:00 start. Yeah, look at me, good guy.
Does all the
I'm
money? Does all the
putting my
money go
open
to
mic on the
tacos?
line for a festival, which may put my career on the line. And I'm calling it a career. That's the funniest part of that.
Oh wait, so they don't have Killers open mic tomorrow?
No Killers open mic tomorrow. That will be the announcement we are making right now.
I was going to debut my act.
Instead, $5 gets you into a single show, but once again, $20, 3 shows. And I guess
5
that's
shows, right?
I'm sorry, you're right. 5 shows, 3 days. For a 3-day pass is what I meant for $20. And the coolest part about all this is that's kind of, I guess, the theme for our thing today. Our show today is North Texas Comedy Festival. We have 2 guys who have been on this specific show nobody knows before. We got Brett Pivito, who I believe was here with Josh Johnson on our romper spree. And then we even have Stu Hollowell, who I think Stu was on episode 1 with like
He was
Shane.
the first one, yeah.
It was like that. Episode 1 was talking about my roast. So
shout out to the roast. More roast coming up. We got
more roast coming up. I guess we'll plug that. When is that? It's Andy's. Mindy Arndt's getting roasted.
I don't know. I have a lot of things around the same time. I don't know. Well, I have it right here. It's October 13th at Andy's.
Okay, so
I don't
we'll
know if I should be
roasting Mindy
announcing
Arndt. Yeah, we'll be talking about that later. But do not forget, guys, this whole episode is, I guess, centralized around North Texas Comedy Festival. I am one of the many comics that are, I guess, running the whole thing. And I'm now abusing my platform here at Denton Radio to plug the crap out of it.
Yeah. We better have a Richie Day one day.
What?
We need a Richie Day one day.
A Richie Day, a Magic Day.
Magic and rap and juggling.
Can we get the guild out here one day, the Magic Guild that you're not a part of, and like get them to like
I'm starting
try
a
and
guild
recruit you?
lately.
You're starting a guild? That's another episode, another time. So, hey, Matt Pohl, how's it going? Comments are live. Please comment, guys. Like, share, comment, do all that. You can enter to win a 3-day pass for the North Texas Comedy Festival. Slade Ham will be the headliner, the big headliner of said festival. He's on I Am Battle Comic, Jordan Brady's new series. If you're familiar with Jordan Brady, he's done I Am Comic, I Am Road Comic, which is on Netflix. Just kind of like documentary style, like into the life of comics. And Slade's a guy from Beaumont, Texas, so we threw him as the main headliner. We got Jay Whitecotton from Austin, Latrice Allen. I believe Latrice is from Duncanville, maybe Dallas.
Is this Texas? All Texas comics?
All the headliners are Texas. We have 35 plus other comics that they range from, L.A.,
nice.
Colorado, and other places. So we are going to get 2 of the board members along with myself, Stu Hall and Brett Pivotal. Like we said, they've been on the show before. Very funny, very, very cool dudes. But first, we are going to play the same video we closed last week's episode with. This was a video filmed, I believe, by, the name is John Collins, I believe. Taylor Higginbotham organized it. Bearded Monk shot at a sponsor of the festival. Check out this video. We'll get these 2 guys in here, and we'll try to figure out what we're going to do with this episode, much less this festival.
What's going on, guys? Y'all were probably expecting a grown man, weren't you? Like, oh man, what's this leprechaun doing here? What's he gonna talk to us about?
I know it looked like Neil deGrasse Tyson had a choice between weed and science.
I lived in Germany for 7 years, went to a German public school.
Trying to convince my girlfriend to have really kinky sex is the same conversation as trying to get her to play Monopoly on a weekend night.
When I was in 6th grade, I was really into street basketball.
When I hear Kendrick Lamar, I think of my late grandmother. The class started cheering, Mein Kampf, Mein Kampf.
And it's gonna star Rick Moranis in blackface.
You know, you always get a good story out of a crackhead when you run into one in the wild.
I want to know what it's like to be the bad man.
Yes, and that is the video, which can also, I think, be found on ntcomedyfest.com. Shot by, is it John Collins? I said that earlier, and I think that's the name.
We'll say, yeah.
I'm pretty, yeah, we'll say, well organized this machine is. So, yeah, guys, ntcomedyfest.com. I don't think I even mentioned this earlier. Over a third of proceeds go to charity.
Yeah,
it's over a third, right?
35% go to charity. Yeah, it's all literary initiative based. So,
and
books
speaking
for kids.
Is Stu Hollowell,
hello,
treasurer, I guess, of said festival,
yes.
and also
a treasurer
of
North Texas Comedy Festival.
And head of LOL for a Cause, which is the umbrella for said festival.
Right, yeah.
If you want to tell people,
kids,
yeah.
Basically just we work with comedians and educators, and we put on shows, and the shows that we do, the money goes towards books for kids. We've held storytime workshops. We like to involve kids in the creative process of writing the stories and reading the stories. So, yeah, we do a lot.
How long has LOL for a Cause been right now? It's like 2 years, right?
It's like 2.5.
2.5?
2? Yeah, we'll say 2. We'll say 2. It's a safe number.
2.25.
23 years, guys.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you putting your name on the line to work with.
We'll see whether or not.
Thing.
Yeah.
How you feeling
about the fest?
The festival, yeah.
The festival's
just
going to be fun. In general, my day.
We'll start with how you're doing today. How are you
my
doing
day
right
was ridiculous, man. We had a fire drill today.
Where? That's cool because you're also a teacher, which explains
teacher
the
life,
LOL for
right. Teacher life, comedy life. We had 2 drills, fire drill, and during the earthquake drill, the kids have to get down in the hallway and put their hands over their head. Some kid in the hallway just passed this massive gas.
That's a tornado. You said tornado drill, right?
No, he said earthquake drill.
Earthquake drill.
Which
you do a
needs
same
to be
thing.
Really examined. Hi, I'm Brett.
Right, this is Brett.
Yes, Brett Pivotal, everybody. Also,
we have earthquakes.
Originally, I guess
you don't.
Originally, you were given the title, and I'll give this inside information. Originally, you were the no man of the festival. You were supposed to be the man to tell no, and you're doing so much.
That's a closely held secret.
Oh no. The president
until
can
you're told
such.
no.
The president, I'm about to tweet about it right now.
I just told you no.
Until you told me. You do so much more now, though.
Right.
This man,
some people I say yes.
This man, though, I mean, you have crazily stepped it up within the board. You're heavily involved, I guess, in obviously in organizing. Man. Heavily involved within, I guess, being the middleman and like keeping people. You've kept the group together. I don't know
Is that what you
what's
think?
the pop
That's
reference.
what you think I'm doing?
You're like the Sophocles of said
okay.
of
The
said group.
Pop-Tart feeling.
Oh,
anytime
the
a schism seems
right.
to be appearing, your words of wisdom kind of
okay.
glue it together.
That's high praise.
Is that?
But I want to talk about earthquake drills.
You're very masterful.
Those are funny to me. We don't have them in Denton because, well, they will, though. They're coming.
Why? Why are they coming?
Because the tectonic plates
we
shift.
can't. No, we can't talk about that. Well, there's actually a.
We can talk about plate shifting.
No, we can't.
We can talk about science.
We can't talk about why. It's controversial.
It's not that controversial.
It's so controversial. So what's happening in Irving is they figured out. Stu works in Irving.
I work in Irving.
That there is a fault underneath, like Texas Stadium area, and fracking involves injecting high pressure
that's why
water
it's controversial
into the ground. And earthquakes are happening in Irving, so
Okay,
now there's
yeah,
earthquake
yes.
drills. Drills.
Can I tell you why
Drills.
that
How ironic.
Can I tell you why
That's
this
so great.
specific
Bizarre.
This specific drill was terrible because as everyone was down on their knees with their hands over their head, some kid passes gas in the hallway, and all the kids are just like, it's like ruined the whole drill, and I had a kid throw up in the hallway.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that's
Is there a
my
drill
day.
for that?
So
There's no drill for
one
kids.
of your students.
Yes.
So, oh, that's interesting. What is the protocol
well,
for remediating?
I mistakenly told the student to just breathe deep. As they told me they were about to hurl, and I think that may have been what actually caused.
Made him.
Do y'all still do the fire drills?
You coached him. You taught him through a vomit.
Right. Yeah. Well, breathing deep after someone passes gas
Fire
is not a great idea.
is a continuing threat to man.
I get that, but do y'all still do the stop, drop, and roll? Because that's good info. I've used it. There's been a stop, drop, and roll situation I've
I
been
don't
in.
think that's how you avoid fire at a school. You leave the building.
Yeah, but you have to crawl under
There's
your
no
desk
stopping.
and grab your backpack and put all your stuff in there
No,
first.
you're not supposed to. Do not pass go. Do not collect
Secretly.
$200. You're not supposed to stop. You're supposed to get
You
out.
roll and keep going.
Yeah,
you
you
just
roll
out of the
down
building.
the stairs.
Just get out. You get right
barrel
out.
We should do a. Can we do a fire drill right now?
No, man. We
I
can
don't-
see. We're so
Everybody
safe.
line up.
You know, to be honest, I mean, I don't think I would pass a fire drill right now.
Would you pass an
I don't
earthquake
think-
drill,
I
though?
don't think. No, I don't think I would know it. Well, it's the same as
can't
a tornado
crouch down
drill,
like
right?
that.
As he's saying, and you put your hands
yeah,
above your
it
head.
does seem
you're in the
similar
hallway.
to basically any drill other than fire drill is
But
get underneath the desk.
Right. Underneath the desk.
But the
hands
teachers
over
don't
your
do
head.
it. Right? The teacher's like walking around waiting to get killed while
Right.
Does the
while all
teacher go
the
into the
kids are-
doorway or do they go into their own desk?
Teacher makes sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. So we're all
You're
just
exposed
facilitating,
to the
exposed to the
danger.
earthquake.
Okay.
Yeah, we are in danger.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
So wait, you're not on on your hands and knees.
No.
No, why would I do that?
You're keeping the other people on there.
Why would they be doing that if you're not doing that? I
Are
don't
these
understand.
big
You're supposed to be
earthquakes?
leading by example. You're the teacher. I'm following.
Unless it requires me to get on the ground.
Listen,
then
I
I'm
think
okay.
if anything, you should have to lay out across them like it, plank across them like a security
know that.
blanket.
sacrifice myself
Yes,
spiritually.
It was a
Absolutely.
tornado. It's the
Symbolically.
same as a
Earn
tornado
that
drill, right?
huge
Sounds like it.
paycheck.
Oh yes.
Controversial.
Let me ask you this: so, is there a bell, or are there tones?
Well, so there's neither. For a fire drill, there's an alarm, and everybody's familiar with that. But in the case of an earthquake, somebody gets on the announcements and just like, earthquake.
They actually make
first off,
They
no,
make
they make a sound
They make a
effect
sound
of an
effect.
earthquake of
Yes.
the earth.
Do they
Earthquake.
really? They don't.
They impersonate the earth.
They don't have
They
to.
impersonate
But they
the
chose
earth.
I would
to.
hope so.
They
I
chose to.
wish that would be the. That's
They-
almost
so
like
it's a student?
adding insult to injury.
I believe it's one of the administrators.
But for a
That
fire,
makes the sound.
yes.
Oh my God,
What a
that is
choice.
that is insult to injury.
but for
It's,
the fire, y'all
it's
still
almost
have a
offensive.
bell. It's still just
For
a
the
bell
fire,
sound. Is
yeah,
it a real
yeah.
bell?
What?
That's what I was asking. Also, is it a bell or is it like
It's a siren.
an
Every
sound they play
emulated
through
bell
the-
over speakers?
Because
one-
I saw a train the other day and it didn't have a horn on it. What had the horn was the crosswalk.
Yeah.
And so the train just had, and it was like a it was just like, and I was like,
yeah, very
It
fake.
was actually just the
away
conductor
train
speakers.
horns.
Wait, it's like speakers off the tracks.
Right.
Yeah,
The
so
train isn't making the actual noise.
So I imagine it may not be this difficult, but as the train goes by something, it just has speakers on the thing, like the pole or something. I don't know. It was really sad because I missed the old horn. You know.
You missed the old horn.
I missed the old horn. Let's bring it back.
The good old days.
One of those. Yeah.
So, okay, so it's literally it's the same exact thing then. It's
Tornadoes.
the same exact thing as a tornado.
Yeah, tornadoes and earthquakes.
So wait,
are
okay, what I
dangers,
guess
I suppose.
Yeah, I guess what my question was is, so tornado, you just react based on tornado sirens because we have those.
I don't even know if there's a tornado siren.
There's just
Is
a
there?
drill.
The drill involves just
But
tornado
there's a
and then
siren.
sound
There's
effect.
sirens everywhere, right?
I like how they're calling the threat.
Yes, they make sure everyone's
They get on
aware.
the speaker. Yeah, they say, you know.
They don't just say
the
generic emergency
There's
pose.
a drill today. Yes, there's a drill.
Well, you
And what's the drill?
gotta. Apparently, you're supposed to know what to do within the different drills, but these are the same.
But they're all the
drills.
same
Yeah.
except for fire, you leave.
But wait, so the other ones you stay.
roll.
Just
Yeah,
in case.
yeah.
Just in case. Well, wait. They don't have tornado sirens in Irving that go off.
They may,
Like-
but I don't
Well, they
think
do, but
this was just.
it doesn't
yeah.
correspond to the tornado drill at a school.
Okay, but you hear those, you know. It's
They
just,
test 'em, like,
once
on the
again,
first
the insult
Wednesday
to
or
injury
whatever.
with
Yeah.
the guy being like, "Hey, I don't know if you heard that, but
The
tornadoes are happening right now."
It's like, hey, first Wednesday of the month, 1 p.m. Here's that tornado siren, North Texas. Do what you do.
Just like a
You know what I mean?
sexy weathercast a week before. Like,
Wouldn't we all be better off?
At 2 o'clock on a
Like-
Friday, we will be getting hit by a sandstorm. Tornadoes on Saturday and Sunday.
Right, like there was
It'll
that.
be 80 with.
We're gonna be doing
partially
a
cloudy.
sandstorm drill.
Oh.
Everybody, close your eyes.
That would be a siren I could get behind.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, hey, heads up, everybody who is watching. If anybody is watching, keep in mind you can like, you can share, and you should comment because Matt Poles the old. We have one comment thus
Hey,
far.
Matt.
That's how bad. Hey
What's
Matt,
up, Matt?
we said hi.
Hey, what's
earlier.
going on, Matt?
Like, comment, share. You can win a 3-day wristband to the North Texas Comedy Festival, thrown down by me. So do that and win it because we have a pretty cool lineup.
So much
set
talent.
together.
How many comics do we have coming down?
Over 35.
35.
Right? What do you think the final number is? I think you.
I don't actually. I haven't been counting comics.
40.
Who
We should
knows?
count
I'm gonna
'em.
go 42. I'm gonna guess.
We should count
42
them on the
that comes
final
in.
good
days.
number.
Like,
After the fact.
We'll line them all up.
Yeah.
And then count them.
we'll get their names and maybe even email addresses.
There's nothing funny about that, though. That's just math.
That's
Just share them out there.
Math jokes are difficult. You really reduce to puns most of the time.
You got one. You
Reduced.
got one right now.
Ah.
Yeah, there
And
you
it's
go.
funny because
There you go.
You know.
I'm in 10th grade arithmetic.
So, I guess our schedule for this, for people that do not know, tomorrow is the kickoff day. Like we said, open mic will not be there. Hi again, Matt Pohl. I love that he just sits here and watches this.
Friendly guy.
Beautiful guy. Beautiful man. DJ Party McFly, for those that have watched previous episodes. Doing
We're good.
man. Doing good. You going to the North Texas Comedy Festival, Matt? Because right now, it seems like if you like and share, you might be the only person in our raffle. First day is tomorrow at Killer's Tacos in replace of the open mic, like I said, 8 p.m. I'll be hosting that. Lawrence Rosales is headlining that, right?
Yes.
Lawrence,
have you thought about how you're going to turn down the singer-songwriters who go for
who
open
show up
mic,
for the
who
open
don't?
mic and
Like
stuff?
we always do.
Who go with their like all their stuff
like
to
we
make a
always
jamboree
do.
and
Just
We
heckle
we
them
just
to
point
it.
to the door.
say, hey,
wow. That's so rude.
not-
This
That
is a
was
music
rude.
town.
Yeah,
Not tonight.
Sorry about that.
These are clearly jokes, but no. Lawrence will be headlining tomorrow. I guess Hyena's feature act does a lot of headlining gigs.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Right, he's a very, very funny dude. Opens for Tony Hinchcliffe when he comes out here, which is super. You know, I had a Tony Hinchcliffe date for like maybe 5 minutes. I went to Hyena's. This was like a month ago, or it was about 2 months ago, and I got some dates from Butch, you know, for opening spots, and I was excited for all that, whatever. And I leave, and then Butch calls me back over maybe in 5 minutes, and he's like, "Hey man, we got to change the dates." And for those that don't know, that's kind of the nature of how it goes, you know, like for the people that I guess watching Matt that don't know maybe how comedy works, there's certain guys get opportunities, and if they they grab a hold of them, they can start to work for a certain guy because that certain guy will be like, hey, I really like the way this guy compliments my act and this and that. So Lawrence is kind of that right now with Tony, and Butch was like, hey man, we gotta switch your date to the one after, and I just saw Lawrence looking over there all sad, and he like looking at me kind of like guilty and whatnot, and yeah, that's what happened. So I got to almost open for Tony Hinchcliffe for 5 minutes.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
tell it again.
Almost did something.
Well, I will, because a lot of this, Brett, this show is supposed to inform people about stand-up comedy that aren't aware of it in a small little music
That
town.
reminds me of whenever I...
Don't be the no man, be the yes man right now.
I was 15 and I saw 50 Cent in concert, and I got his like autograph and stuff, and I handed him my demo, and I don't know if you ever listened to it.
You
but
had a demo at 15?
Yeah, I almost opened for 50 Cent. Like 5 minutes.
Who did? Who did open? Is it like
know.
a name? Is it like a familiar
like
Dallas
Lloyd
name
Banks
at all? Lloyd Banks opened for 50 Cent. When was this?
I was 16, 15. Yeah, dude, I had a mixtape when I was 12. Nice. I still have one.
Yeah, you still have that same one? Share that out. Put that on SoundCloud.
Well, the thing is, I burned like so many CDs that like every once in a while, someone like from high school or middle school just messaged me and say, "Hey, I found this," and I'm like, "Send me that."
Bro, get those, get a few of those and push them at the October 6th show.
Oh, nice.
Which will be the we have 2 shows on October 6th actually. We have the early show at Backyard on Bell. Which Latrice Allen will be headlining. Back to the headliner thing. Latrice, very funny. Also a feature at Hyenas. Who, I mean, I've seen her, and at times I've seen her at mics with like 30 plus people. Just like even her new jokes, just like her presence and like cadence on stage is she's amazing. And I've got to work with her on weekends. Have you worked with her before,
No.
Brett?
Mm-mm.
Really? She's so good. Backyard. Right. That'll be at 7. Where do you know where she's? I keep saying it's either Dallas or Duncanville. I think she's. I don't
know.
For some reason,
I don't
think
recall
when I
now
worked
what
with
her. She's. What do you mean?
Where she's from in the DFW
Oh,
area?
we're getting specific. I don't really know. It
Yeah,
probably
okay.
is Duncanville.
Well, because we were talking earlier about
Could've
like
been.
Texas centralized headliners and kind of how that was a thing.
Do we have any headliners coming in from out of state?
All our headliners for this specifically are Texas.
Really?
Which I think is pretty
Do
cool.
we have any comics coming in from out of state?
Yeah, we have 2 from Colorado. I don't know what happened. Our LA ones, did any of those? Do we still have any from LA? No,
I don't think so.
No,
We do have the one from Duncanville.
We do have a Duncanville.
Duncanville.
Deep. That's deep
There-
DFW.
There are a few. I know for sure we have Colorado. I know this is still in state. We have a lot of Austin. Obviously the Denton people, and there are a few
Some
others.
Houstonians
There's some
coming up.
Houstonians.
The obvious Denton people.
There was like an Illinois person. There was someone I
know.
think from another one of those states. But yeah, man. I mean, it's just a cool thing. Abby Underground is the late show on the 6th, and that's
Friday?
the Friday show, the late Friday show, and that'll be at Abby, and Jay White Cotton will be headlining that.
Yes, I'll be doing that show, as will Stu as well.
Yes. I've got to open for Jay actually at Abby, long 2 years ish ago. Dude, so funny from Austin, like and kills it. He's all over the place too, man. I can't plug his Instagram right now, but he's a treasure to follow. Like the things he shows on the road, like the crappy like motel rooms he's been in.
His beard is glorious too.
His beard.
That's what
is
I'm most excited for.
That's why he was so Denton ready.
Yeah, he was very Dentonish.
Look at that beard.
He's got a good beard. It's strong.
You know, it's funny. I think it was Denton Record Chronicle yesterday was talking to me about the submissions and like like what it took for certain people, I guess, to whatever make it. And I just told him, I was like, we had certain people. There was a grading system. A lot of it had to do with, stand-up stuff. But I think when I told her yesterday, I was like, I think a lot of it had to do with the people we felt most complimented this certain
right, because we know
town.
We know the audiences here and what they like.
Because we're out here all the time telling jokes. Us three, Richie's out here telling jokes.
Yeah, and that's what we want to bring. We want to bring talent here for the audiences here, and so we kind of have a sense of what will and won't work in this town. And everybody we chose, strong beards included, just super Denton ready.
So some people, based on their beard, got.
Yeah, weak facial hair, you are not allowed.
That's absolutely not the case.
But somebody got it.
But I mean,
maybe-
to the ode of the material and the cadence and the person that is on stage. I mean, Brett's done some traveling.
I
and
like how
stand-up.
everyone
There's-
here has a very similar beard, where none of us have the cheeks. You kind of have cheeks, but do you shave?
He has a better.
Sure,
Brett
yeah.
has a better beard
You
than
got to
all of us.
maintain that.
See,
Yeah.
You maintain that?
Well, I mean, the line has the frontier must be maintained.
But how far
And that's
up
where you
does it
draw
go?
it at?
Does it go
it
around
would
here?
it
Oh,
would
that's
creep up
cool.
to this.
To the eye?
Why don't
but
you do
not,
that?
To the
but
eye?
not thoroughly. It would.
Just-
It's just kind of sparse up here.
Okay, so there's no hope for any of us.
I don't think so.
I don't have very good facial
No,
hair.
you-
But no, I mean, like, and Brett, as someone who's traveled to stand up, I mean, Stu's gone to like Colorado areas
I've
and
done
stuff.
a few things.
Like, I think that's an important part as if you're doing a festival, whatever you're doing, if you're on the road traveling, doing stand up, telling jokes, like an important part of it is the different places you go and the different way audiences are, the people are, the culture is, like just even the way words are said. And we've talked about this on the show before, but I think that's like absolutely one of the most interesting, I guess, parts of traveling.
It
and doing
tests you as
stand-up.
a
So
comic
when-
too. Like
Yeah.
if you go somewhere and you're like, wow, none of my material is working. It must be this town and who I am, and I have to adapt. And that's one of the cooler things I think you get to come away from on the road is trying to figure out how you fit within the puzzle piece of the sense of humor of a
Well,
town.
and when you're pulling people, like within our position, when you're trying to pull someone from out of that town
Mhm.
into it and say, hey, make these people laugh. First off, a lot of these people, they pay for the wristbands, obviously, they come to, and it's not even a crazy price. Only $5 per show, 23-day pass. But there's like this weird sense of like, I guess, pressure on both ends to like figure out the right fit for a thing as niche as this.
Yeah,
You
it's like
kind of agree
setting
with
up.
that, Brett?
It's like setting up a blind date. I feel like because the audiences, they're sort of just trusting you when they buy the pass
they're
that they're
trusting you
going to be
that this
entertained.
guy from so-called somewhere knows your interest and your humor and understands what you care about in this place and time and space.
I mean, for that many shows for $20, you can't really lose. Like, even if 15 of the comics weren't funny, you still got more than 20 that are, like, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what,
that ratio,
you can't really lose.
That ratio is very pessimistic, sir.
Yeah.
Just want to say.
What were you going to say before that, though? You're about to say something.
It's going to be great, though.
Do you agree with that, though? I mean, do you agree that that's a... I mean,
They need to be woke, right? I mean, they got to be woke in this town. Yeah,
comedy crowd. Yeah,
we're not trying to put on retrograde humor up in here.
Yeah. You definitely have to come, I think, with because I mean, audiences out here, they don't care for the shock jock. You know, it's not like
no, they've heard that already.
Yeah.
We're sensible people,
and there's still places, though. Believe it or not, I've been to places where the shock jock still like is. They have a thing, a weird niche, and it's not. I mean, and I'm not saying it's the best form of comedy, but I'm also used to doing comedy out here, so I have this tolerance for what I think is good comedy. You know,
somebody will figure out shock jock again. It'll be reinvented, and then it'll come back in a new guise that we haven't anticipated. But until then, the shock jock is like a dicey proposition, right?
Right.
Like, Dice is trying to come back, but somebody else will fix it, and they'll update it, and it'll happen again. We got some cheek commentaries from Josh Thompson. Good.
About yours, about your cheeks.
That's probably true.
Chris Kaliba saying, "Sup, bros? What's up, bro?"
And I was thinking, like, if Richie Flo were to, like you said, bring a mixed tape. What if there was a guy who's such a purist, and he's like, "I'm bringing a mixed cassette tape. That's what I'm bringing because
Do you
I
have
am."
your player? A mixed vinyl.
You're so
mixed
like
vinyl.
it's becoming so narrow.
Just handing them out on Times Square.
The
your mixed vinyl.
The people that you could
square.
actually get to listen to a mixtape on a tape, but the term has kind of held up.
Hey,
I'm
the
thinking-
hipster era, man. You could.
I'm
cassette
trying
tapes
to.
are coming back.
They are.
I'm trying to sell a one-time listen-through album that you only get to listen to it once.
Mhm.
It's $1,000, and it's me and a live band showing up wherever you want,
No,
and
that's
we play it.
It's 1,000 though. But then it's the live band shows up.
That the CD is actually a live band.
It's not a CD at all. It's actually physical people in the space.
Yeah,
with
but there's
you.
a way. Like, we're all going to be sitting on a circular disc that's spinning.
Oh, okay.
While we perform.
That's what the $1,000 is
I
paying
see.
for.
I mean, yeah. so I need help
a
building that.
circular rotating stage.
Yeah, I want to give people an experience that they'll remember.
Yeah.
So I guess like a common thing I've been asked, and especially with I guess I'll start with Stu here because I mean you've been a heavy part in making shows happen consistently in this. The big picture for the scene you want to come out of the festival.
I think a lot of the guys at LOL have had the same end goal for a long time. With this scene, we just want to see somebody make it big from here. We want Denton's name. We want the scene to carry on beyond anybody who leaves, but we want Denton to be a place where it's like, that's where that guy's from. You know, we want people to be able to recognize Lil D as a place that fosters talent.
Like a Dr. Phil of comedy.
Exactly, yeah.
A Dr. Phil, no, not like...
Well, like Oprah was to Dr. Phil what Denton might be.
Well, isn't Dr. Phil from Denton?
He's from Irving.
But he went to UNT, right?
He did go. Yeah, he got his.
So I mean, you know, most people. I'm not from Denton, but I went to UNT parties.
Right.
I'm trying to share.
I need to get on a couple party from Denton.
Yeah, my friend came out. My friend moved here when I was 18. He moved to Denton for college, and I was like, I want to go to college parties.
Right. I just want to go to college parties. So I think that's what everybody wants to do, really.
Well, that's kind of how like I started coming out here, going to like Flower Mountain High School. Was there's nothing to do. You just go to like when it was the Forum, which it's now I think the Retreat. You would just go there and you would just walk into apartments and you would just have to, you know, pretend like. Do you remember that? Like being at the age where you like had to walk in the party, but you had to like kind of feel like you felt
never once.
I was a cool rapper.
Well, you were cool. You were cool. You were always allowed in the party. Is that what it is, or you just didn't go to parties? What's the?
I didn't. No, I mean, if you got invited, I guess you go. But I'm just saying, I never had the savvy to go
where did you grow
crash
up? When I was
Irving.
like kind of Irving. Okay.
Yeah, I never had the savvy to go like, well, let me go to just the apartments and play,
where
magical doors.
Well, where then was like the cool place to like party?
I wasn't part of cool.
In Irving.
Jerry Commandante's house. That was where the cool place was.
Well, I mean,
he had
I'm not
list,
saying being a part of cool. I was never a part of cool. That's why I had to go into parties and pretend like I fit in and be like, oh, I know Jason, and you had to hope there was actually a Jason there that everyone's like, oh yeah.
You just start telling jokes because the lack of cool is not something you can accommodate.
Absolutely. Well, that's
just come bringing food.
That's the only reason. That's the only way I keep people in my life
arms
now.
full of Doritos, and everyone's gonna open the door for you.
No,
this is the new way.
Not because not in like when I was in high school in 2008, and you were trying to go to UNT like party because I mean I didn't. So you would go and then you would just try and fit it. So like I get like the joke thing kind of is a thing because if people want to be around you from the start, like it's like I guess that defense mechanism of sorts. Yeah. Like then you're in there. You know what I mean?
That's when I started doing magic again.
If you look like you don't, because sometimes if you're making people laugh, even if you look like the weirdest person in the room, like even if like your aesthetic doesn't match the party,
even if you don't shower,
if you're making people laugh, you look like you belong in this sense, right? Like
I didn't think about trying to make people laugh at the party. I was just talking about you don't go to the party because you're not cool, and then later you go tell jokes as a substitute.
Oh, see, but there was
the rest of that.
There was no place in high school for me to tell jokes. You went to the party and you were miserable within your existence, and now I'm telling jokes.
You weren't like a talent show comedian?
No.
No, what a great idea that would be.
Oh my gosh. The comedian at our talent show is so bad.
You had one?
You're supposed to be.
This kid, he did. He said, "Now this is gonna be my impression of Tommy Lee Jones." He did like 10 impressions.
What's his name?
I can't
plug him right now.
What
if he's on the festival?
We don't need to do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name.
Oh, sure we do.
But I do remember his name, and his mother was a lunch lady, very beautiful lady. She used to always give me free cheese sticks.
That's awesome. A beautiful lunch lady is always welcome in my world.
Beautiful ladies.
But yeah, he did.
Shout out to all the beautiful ladies.
He did like 5 impressions of people who were all the last name. He did Tommy Lee Jones, the guy who was Mufasa, who talked for him.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. They were all people who had 3 names that ended in
all
Jones.
The Jones. He did the.
And
he
they all
up with the Joneses.
Same.
Okay.
He's like, here's James Earl Jones.
Yeah. So,
like, okay,
how much time did he do?
7 minutes.
Nuh-uh.
5 to 7 minutes.
How much time did you do your first time, Brett? How much time did you do your first time?
8.
8 minutes?
Your first time up ever?
It started
that's still too
much.
I
wrote
that's
jokes.
Too much.
It was, but I wrote jokes for a year before I went on
you
stage.
did it?
So it sounded like an act.
I wrote jokes for a day before I went
It wasn't an act, but it sounded like an act.
See, I was writing like internet sketches, like sketch comedy stuff. But I wanted to meet funny people. So then as soon as I figured out I had 8 minutes, I wrote that specific 8 minutes numerous times, and it was just bad, And then I went to a comedy club and I learned this is jokes. Use how you tell jokes.
There's little
you formulate an act through jokes.
Yeah.
You don't just make an act off a centralized
There's
topic and try and be your favorite.
I had bits. I had fully formed bits, and they seemed to have a beginning, a middle, and end. It looked like an act.
That's awesome.
But if anything
How long were you writing it before?
Like a year.
A year? You're
I would
like,
punch
okay,
it
I'm
up.
ready.
No, I just knew that I didn't know how to. I'd given a speech in college that was like stand-up because it got laughs. And then a buddy was like, well, this is like stand-up. I was like, oh, well, that's not too complicated to write a funny speech. Now I got to figure out how to write that. But I knew I didn't know how to do it. I also knew if I did it and wasn't good at it, I'd never do it again.
Yeah.
Really?
I had the one experience last year at the other festival, and it was
Comic brought Richie on stage to essentially be funny.
To a rap. He brought you into a scenario.
So I didn't know.
But Richie,
then you rapped.
No, they wanted me to rap, but I said no. I should have said yes, but for some reason I was like, this is so uncomfortable. I'm telling this story about.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah.
Oh no, not that.
That was at Black Box Theater, which might I add is our final show of the festival on Saturday, which Slade Ham from I Am Battle Comic will be headlining. This show is all about plugs today.
It's got a Netflix documentary, and don't overlook the Bearded Monk.
I don't know if it's on Netflix yet. I talked to Slade at
not?
Hyenas.
Okay.
I Am Road Comic is on Netflix, which Jordan Brady
that.
made that. This is the
Battle
the
comic.
third is I Am Battle Comic. But Slade was saying, I forgot where Slade told me you can find it. If you Google I Am Battle Comic, you'll be able to find it. Slade said, because I saw him at Hyenas, he was there last week, and he said it might end up soon on Netflix. But that's all you're saying.
Shout out to Netflix.
Yeah.
And shout out to Bearded Monk, 1 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
Day party.
Saturday afternoon. Day party.
That's right.
That's happening. Can we talk about all that's going on there?
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. So at 1
break
o'clock.
It down, Stu.
No, you break it down, Stu.
No, don't put
Give
that
him
on
a beat.
me.
Break it
No,
down.
because you've been quiet for a bit, and you
I've
had
been
that was
pointing
perfect.
aggressively.
I know, but
The whole
this is
time.
for the iHeartRadio listeners. Now, you baby, you came in so strong. And by the way,
1 o'clock.
can we say Stu was on the very first episode ever, and he still might have the best radio.
Was I really? That was the first episode.
Period.
He just
I
doesn't
think
work.
so.
And this is the
close enough to
21st,
mic.
so
And this
20
is the
episodes
best.
later, you're
Hey.
back.
He doesn't work close enough to the mic for everyone to hear.
And the thing, he has the voice,
See
but he
that?
doesn't realize how to use it.
Bearded Monk.
Right.
1 o'clock at the Bearded.
Let me read this.
Bearded Monk, y'all.
1 o'clock at the Bearded Monk. We have.
I don't know what we have. Brett, take it away.
But it's Comedy Science Theater 3000.
That's right.
Which is where me, Dalton Pruitt, Clint Worth, Tyler Simpson, I believe.
You're just naming people I know nothing about. Are they
On
coming
the
out
mystery,
too?
They're part of the Mystery Science thing that Dalton. Yeah, it was supposed to be me. See,
We actually changed
there's
it.
still
Y'all
some
aren't a part of
kinks
it
to
anymore.
There's a rotating chair as far as I'm concerned.
There's
for
a single
couple of 'em.
rotating chair.
I
But
don't know.
essentially, it's Space Jam getting Mystery Science theatered.
Roasted
by-
while it's happening.
Right.
I've never seen it, so it'll be a good thing for me to see it finally and make fun of it in the moment.
Oh, okay.
Can you
All
believe
right,
that he
well
hasn't seen Space Jam?
Have you not seen Space Jam? It was a classic with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Well, I was already a classic when Space Jam appeared on Earth, and so I didn't need to see it. I was 21 when Space Jam appeared, and that was 21 years ago.
Well, we will
So now
definitely
it's
need
time
to
for
have.
me
We need to have at
watch
least
Space
more
Jam.
than one.
This is the 21 episode.
If we're doing
Nuh-uh.
Mystery Science Theater, there's got to be more than one chair. That would easily.
I said there's a one rotating chair. There's
a
going to be
one-
many.
Yeah.
There's just going to be some microphones
Could
and
just
some
be
people.
a pass the mic situation.
Yeah,
I definitely,
for sure.
I definitely think there should be a panel, but you should definitely be on if you haven't seen it because that's
Never
hilarious.
seen it.
That's
there would be
great.
no reason to see it. What 21-year-old individual needs to see
At,
Space
that,
Jam?
at the time, you were 21 when Space
Yeah.
Jam came out.
I didn't need that.
Did
Space Jam has no age.
I was young enough that I could have Space Jam sheets and
Well, it's
pillowcases,
just like,
which I did.
I was like, oh, okay, so they got Michael Jordan and some cartoons. I don't need anything from
You don't like
that.
Looney Tunes?
I just didn't need it. What was I going to do with that?
Do you appreciate Looney Tunes more the older you are than you were at 21?
I watched Looney Tunes as a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
Like old Looney
older
Tunes.
Looney Tunes is way different
But
than
what
Space Jam.
what
Looney
part of Michael Jordan and cartoons appealed to me at that time?
You must not have seen like the pajamas and stuff.
But it's hilarious how now that you do
Because their
comedy-
marketing was just so on fire.
The pajamas.
Me
Like
and-
I hadn't figured out my pajama
hilarious.
situation.
We need some
by
festival
21.
pajamas to sell. That's what would really.
We gotta
Wow.
get some shirts, which are coming. I believe. So wait. So do you think the fact that you're involved in comedy and all, like, do you have more of an interest in seeing Space Jam now than you did?
Oh, certainly.
Just the aspect.
Well,
of
because
it's a little dated now.
It's so lionized. The people love it so much.
Oh yeah, it's a massive.
It's like a millennial masterpiece.
Oh.
They just love it.
It's not very
you
good.
Cannot
though.
throw.
No, it's not
you
good.
cannot throw any shade at Space Jam though.
No, you
and that's
can't.
what's going to make this great.
Y'all are going to ruin this whole thing for me because I've never heard anybody talk bad about Space Jam. Never before in my life.
You don't talk bad about it, but as an adult,
It's
it's
not
almost
like a thing I hate.
It's almost like Hook. Have y'all seen Hook recently?
I've seen Hook, but not recently.
It's when you're a kid, it's magical, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is a great movie. What a great story. And then you watch it as an adult, and you're like, this is the worst.
Yeah, I didn't.
Steven Spielberg made this.
I saw it as an adult. I didn't like it.
Did he use CostumeShop.co?
Maybe.
It's the nostalgia goggles. Many things don't hold up when you remove the nostalgia goggles.
Big Bad Beetleborgs. Terrible show.
Never saw it.
We've talked about Beetleborgs on here before. And speaking of, everyone that is watching, do not forget to like, share, comment, and you can win a 3-day pass to the North Texas Comedy Festival. Wristbands, actually, I believe.
It's still a pass.
It's still a pass.
It's the same thing.
Allows
It's
you to
it's
pass
a free
through.
Pass to
You
get
pass.
Pass.
Yeah.
What else is going to be going on Saturday afternoon?
After the movie screening, there will be a tournament-style breakdown with people playing N64 GoldenEye.
Is this your N64?
It is. We'll see how long
how are you
it
feeling?
holds
How
up.
are you feeling about that?
It doesn't matter.
Hands of strangers.
When did you get it?
The N64?
Yeah.
Is this the one you have
20
you had
years
this?
ago.
Have you had
This
this?
is the one you had when you were
When
not
I was
watching
in college.
Space Jam?
Yeah.
So when Brett starts winning, we
This
know
is a
there's just
friend.
like
It's
him
actually
and this controller
my
have
old
had.
roommate. No, I actually bought new controllers for the purposes of this event. I'm not too happy with them, but whatever.
Are they
Are they like newer
little-
kind, or they're like
they're
old
new
that you bought?
knockoffs? No, I mean they're
new
just
knockoffs.
like they're a little too sensitive for Bond.
Yeah.
But we can see if the millennial generation can unseat me from my perch at the
your
top of the
crown.
heap of Bond.
The
I wasn't even
Iron
the best
Throne,
player in my
the
group of
golden.
friends, but I'm the
But
only
now-
one still standing.
There should be a prize for the winner of the tourney. We should do it
Should be a little golden
elimination
gun.
style.
So
Yes.
Bond, you know how the modern systems you have like the double joystick that like so you move
Yeah,
around
sure, yeah.
with one joystick and you look
Right,
around
right,
you
right.
look around with the other.
Yeah.
Is Bond still Bond is you move with the joystick and then you look with the C buttons, the little arrows, right?
You could. There was strafe possibilities and up and down with C.
Could
You
play-
can change the controller
you can
though,
change
but,
it.
Make it-
but
I used
you
to
have
play
to probably
Southpaw.
Google how those arrangements are because they just have names.
Got to look up the cheat code. You
Yeah,
remember
whatever
when
it is.
games
Oh.
still had cheat code? I remember going to cheat websites back in the
Are
day.
there
Yeah.
no cheat codes
Having
now?
to memorize the cheat codes and then put them in.
Now you
in
don't have
the
to
right
memorize them
amount of
because
time.
we
And
have them
Grand
on your
Theft
phone.
Auto was
Yeah.
like
There's not
up,
even
down,
really
left, right.
Right, there's not even really
R2L.
cheat codes anymore. It's not a thing really
There-
now.
No.
You can
Every game just kind of like lets you have any possibility within it.
Right.
Like, upgrades are a big thing too now. It's not so much cheats. It's like you got to like be able to unlock
And you have to,
the,
you got to buy the season pass for that.
I missed the paintball
that's
cheat
amazing.
on
or the
Tiny
3-day
Heads.
pass at the North Texas Comedy Festival, which doesn't come with cheats, but boy, it is so cheap it feels like one. That's great, right?
That was amazing.
So what's happening after GoldenEye?
After GoldenEye, we'll have improv with Folding Chairs, a very funny improv troupe from Plano.
Yeah. No,
And
no.
after that,
Christina Romero, another stand-up part of this. Mikey B's significant other, who's Mikey's been on the show numerous times.
They're called what?
Folding Chairs.
That's cool. I like that name. That's a
a
cool
good.
name.
That's a good improv troupe name.
And then at 4, we'll begin a stand-up show from 4 to 6
Uh-oh.
that'll have some locals. And then we'll also have people popping in and doing like an off-the-dome show where they pull topics out of a hat. And whatever they can muster will
Which is
happen
really
then.
fun, by the way. We've done that a couple times at Killers, and the audience seems to really, really love that. And it shows there's like a sense of vulnerability with that. You know, you see a lot of who that person
Not that
is, as
stand-up
opposed
was,
to like
it's
who,
not like it's vulnerable enough. You're up there,
right?
Yeah,
But up there,
Hey,
you
man.
get something you don't
It's
have in
dangerous.
mind.
The guest list.
The dude, when I got to do it, I had so much fun, and it was
Sounds
one of those
fun.
things. After I've talked to you about this, Brett, about not recording sets. After that, I was like so mad I didn't record.
Got to record them all.
That including the guest set, if you're going
Oh,
up and
sure.
pulling out of the hat,
No, I would
would your
definitely
brain
record it. Absolutely.
Do you record all your sets?
See, I'm so nervous
Yes.
about pulling out of the hat. I didn't even think about I should be recording this, and then it turns out to be a decent thing, and I'm like, oh my god.
Do you record all your sets?
I try to. Me and
I
Brett
have
were
never-
talking about this. I try to record every single one, but the ones that I do record and remember to, which more times than not I'll remember, I don't listen back to because I don't like the sound of my voice. I don't like.
See, that's the thing. A lot of people.
Brett listens to his shit.
Yeah.
Well,
stuff
if I
methodically,
not necessarily, but if I innovate,
if you get a good laugh.
Well,
and you're
if I change something, that's where it's most important.
Yeah.
Because I'll spin stuff in different directions just because I'm there and it's a new people and something else comes out that wasn't there before. And so I want a record of that. I don't want to have to sit there and think, oh, I got to remember that. I just want to stay in the moment, and whatever flow happens, and then I go to the record later and be like, oh, this is useful. This is.
How long have you been doing that?
Forever. I've always recorded.
I think a lot of people
he
are
has
just
like a
afraid.
joke. He has like a joke menu. We talked about that.
That's the only way to do it, in my opinion.
He has his jokes written out. Like almost like a head coach on a football sideline has
Like
all the plays right there.
Oh, no
and
way.
he knows what to look at to audible
Yeah,
in a certain
it's like
situation.
It's like a card this size, you know.
I mean, it's not a secret. Like you do it on, like it's seen on stage. You like it's not a secret.
No, I'll
just
I'll
like,
bring it out.
This next 30 seconds, I think this will be real good right here. You don't have a set list.
No,
you just have
I'll just
a menu.
glance at it and see. Oh, they probably like that, and then I'll tell that joke. I mean, there's like a formula of like, I'll probably do this, this, and this. Like, I'll anticipate some things are going to happen depending on who I see in the room. And then, I mean, if I'm doing like 8 or 10 minutes, obviously that's not necessary. But if I'm going to sit there and be up there for 20 minutes, I would want that. Because then you can kind of pick and choose.
Do you say, ladies and gentlemen, my comedy menu?
No.
Or you don't draw attention to
why
it?
would you even bother with that?
I don't know, I'm a magician. You just like, everything's like, hey, a
gotta
water
be
bottle.
a prop.
I'm just going to drink a regular water
Everything
bottle.
has to be established why it's there.
Yeah.
But Brett, when he's up there, like you might, I've seen you you might have two, and you might like move one, but like you.
Well, that's like an open mic where I'm flipping through different, different like extemporaneous written cards.
Whoa,
around,
what does that mean?
But
bullet points.
And you're never really like looking at it. I see you like maybe glance like for a second, and then you like. And I haven't seen like.
It's not a teleprompter.
Club set like that, but
no, I don't do a club set like that.
Yeah, go up completely empty-handed.
I told you. I mean, when I do like 30s, I'll have the menu.
Yeah, because I told you I'll do
because
like
I'm not
the
well
napkin.
established in what the 30 is yet, so I'm still kind of feeling it out. And different crowds get different components, so.
See, I write it out on the side of the napkin, like I told you, and I'll put the drink on like the corner, and I like,
then you'll
hold my
lose it.
hand
I don't
under,
agree with that.
and I put it down. So really,
I don't
like,
even think you should tell the public about this strategy
drink
because I feel like it's the wrong strategy.
Well, that's fine.
You're disseminating misinformation.
No, I don't.
Because
I don't
when
think that's
when the
fair at
drink
all. I don't
sweats
think that's
onto
fair.
the napkin, and,
No, it's on one side of the
and
napkin.
bleeds.
It's on
You
one
just need
side of the
to work
napkin.
on your Roman's
It's on one
room.
side of the napkin. The napkin's folded over. The
That's
drink.
like
It's
that's
not
like
touching.
worse than writing it on
But I'm
your
not
hand.
saying it's right. That's what I'm
No,
also
I-
saying too. Is I'm not saying it's like a thing
No,
that
yeah.
necessarily like
No.
I'm still trying to figure it out. It doesn't. I don't think it necessarily works.
I'd write it all really small in micro print on the back of my thumb.
There you go.
And just be like, yeah.
No, I mean, it's just
'Cause
like
this
the
is where-
crowd. To me, the crowd doesn't care if you have a set list. The crowd
see,
cares
I think
if
they
it's
might
all
kind
great.
of care a little.
I think they like it. I feel like people like to see little props and like little things. People,
But
just-
this is a magician speaking.
No. But I'm saying even if I've seen a comedian and they bring the stool over and lay the thing, I'm like, God, I want to see what's on that little paper.
Oh, yeah?
Like, are they
Okay.
on that paper?
I
Are they
think-
really?
But you're
Because I do
into it.
I do a show, right? So when I
Right.
used to do open mics for my rap show, I would always walk up there with a piece of paper that had "Don't mess up." And I would like keep pulling it out during my rap set, and people thought that I didn't know my words, and I kept like looking at this thing while I'd go, and then I'd like put it up, and then at the end of the show, I'd just throw it in the audience, and people were like, "Oh my God, he didn't know any of his words, and he was reading them off that," and they'd go look, and it just says "Don't mess up," and everyone would be like, "What was that?"
Like-
and that was like one of my things. Like
It's your
I did that
magic.
a lot, yeah. So people would like, and it got to a point where I would do shows, and I would like go like this, and people were like, "He's bringing out the napkin," you know. And then it went to
Oh,
me
they
using
know
my
it.
phone,
They
and
know your
people.
napkin.
It was like a prop.
But
that people-
unless you are the prop comic, no one's going to get necessarily excited when they see you reach for a thing. Like they get excited for that because you're about to show them
Oh,
something
it was
amazing.
so
'Cause they know when you're holding a thing in your hands, it could possibly
Yeah.
disappear, or it could be a thing that
a
it's
like
not.
well-known like producer who's like produced some like really big stuff
think
came
we're-
after a show and was like, "Dude, that napkin thing was incredible. What did it? What were you reading?"
It's just got to look invisible. I
Nothing.
agree with Brett. I think you can have it out. I think you can't be holding it. That's the rule.
Yeah, it's not. You're not doing like a singing.
I'm also not saying I'm against it. I'm also saying when I watch like someone on their big Netflix special or whatever, and if I see a menu, I'm gonna feel. But Marin also goes out there. Marin goes out there with notes, but he like will make a joke about notes.
There's people doing notes.
See, but it might seem like you're riffing off just like
who else?
Smallest
Who's the biggest
idea.
name that you've seen go out with? And this
I don't watch
like,
a lot of specials, but I heard Sarah Silverman's special had her notebook was out during it.
Sarah's funny, so I believe.
Yeah, it was great. Who doesn't? I mean, I think the crowd does not care.
Yeah,
and
they
other
wanna
comedians care. I think other comedians care. I don't
Certainly more than the audience.
I don't think the audience cares. I think the audience just cares about what they hear.
It's
what
like
they're
almost.
receiving.
It's almost like in rap where you used to have to like memorize your. You go to the studio after you memorized your work, and you're gonna go like record it because they don't want you like sitting there for 2 hours reading off a paper, right? But now you can just like, people don't care about how you get to it.
The thing that frustrates me, and I think everybody, is when they do it on their phone. Even in open mics, that frustrates me because it just looks like
the phone looks bad.
Looks like you're on Instagram.
I don't
looks
like
you're not. Yeah,
it's too inconvenient to scroll. You can't see enough at once.
The
phone hides too much that you got to scroll through and see. Oh, it's this joke.
Is there some disconnect with the technology aspect of it, like the type, like because if I see someone with the handwritten stuff, I feel like they wrote it out as opposed to so like. I distinctly remember seeing videos of like rappers back. Like there's old videos of like Drake when he was like young, like rapping with Lil Wayne, and he's like
they made a big deal about it.
And he was rapping out of his phone, and people made a huge deal about it. And to be honest, if I see then a rapper, if I was to see the same Draker holding like a notebook paper, I feel much more like
it meant from something.
It meant something.
They wrote that,
like
that PID went and they transcribed it onto like
some bias.
Could be a little more.
No, because I absolutely do think there's an artistic disconnect with typing things on the phone. I know for a fact I don't remember jokes as well if I type them as opposed to taking the time to write it out.
Probably.
I think there is a disconnect there. But I think there's a mental disconnect for me when I also see an artist doing their art off a phone, kind of like the stand-up, kind of like when people saw Drake rapping off it, as opposed to they were used to 90s rappers. If Jay-Z's, people are used to, those are the same people that are criticizing Jake, or was Jay-Z sitting down? Jay-Z does all his raps in a chair, holding a notebook, and no one's ever chastised Jay-Z for it. Why is that?
When I first saw someone, I mean, not first, but as I saw more and more comics scroll on a phone to scroll through it at open mic, I was like, how long till I see somebody up there with a laptop? Because eventually,
and that would be
and
terrible.
It did happen. I saw that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I've seen iPad.
I've seen iPads too. After the
iPad,
I was like, there's going to be somebody with a laptop.
See, and here's the thing. For hip hop, it's
laptop
totally
came.
different because I've done a show with like a lot of people that they didn't have a DJ. So not only was I playing my set off of my phone, but I was rapping off of my phone. And
Shane
people
said the same thing I did, Mark Maron.
People could have cared less. It was just like, oh, cool, this guy's rapping at me.
Well, yeah,
and
you
I go,
gotta
let me
have
go
your-
back to my phone real quick, guys.
I mean, I'm
nah,
not
we're gonna do
against
this
it.
one.
I'm not against it. I'm not against the set list out. I just also think like,
You're a
but I
purist.
view it. But even this was probably before I did stand up. And I'm now doing it, so maybe I had a different view. I like the illusion of thinking like, oh, this guy's doing this off the top.
And it's the illusion. That's what audiences want. They want to believe that what they are seeing is unique, and it's the only time they've ever done
because
this.
Because a lot of audience members, before I got into stand-up, I didn't understand how stand-up comedy worked. So I didn't know the open mic system. I didn't know, like, I remember being a young kid and thinking, like, oh, my God, stand-up's the scariest thing ever because they just go up there and they're just funny for an hour. That's just how it works. I didn't know the, like, system. You know, this is young. I'm talking young. I didn't know the open mic system. I didn't know all that. So the illusion of that man is just up there and he is just off the cuff hilarious was something to me that, like, almost seemed like a superpower.
Well,
you know?
what's the end goal of comedy? To make people laugh, right? I think if people are laughing, no matter the means that it takes, whether you have a notebook or you're off the head, if they're laughing, you can't really say
You've
like
achieved the goal.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Right.
Like for me, I mean, I don't care what I have to do to do something, to do magic or do a show or whatever it takes. If these people are entertained at the end of the day, whatever it took for me, if I made a beat and people don't like that I made the beat on my phone, which there are producers that are like, you made that on the phone. I've made beats on my phone in 20 seconds that have ended up on people's albums.
Well, also I would like to say I'm not like list shaming because, like I said, I still go up there with mine and it's like an illusion, and it normally does run, and the menu would probably, like you said, it would
laminate
make you It can make you stronger. Like the way you described it to me, I mean the power of being able to look over and being like able to pick from a menu is a much better strategy. And I'm not saying I mean Brett's been doing this longer than me. Like I take things that you say I take them in, because I respect your act and whatnot. And so it's just a thing I think is interesting psychologically to an audience to see, and I was just wondering about, and I think Richie, now that Richie's put that way, and like Shane and myself had pointed out, like Marin had one out, and I loved Marin's, that Thinky Pain special when he brought him out. I think it is, if you want to scroll through that comment. Oh, Shane, that's way too long of a comment.
Hey, it was a short one. As Matt Pohl had some rappers back in the tracks had their vocals on it. In the comedy game, is there an equivalent of a backing vocal, maybe a laugh track, or yourself doubling up punchlines?
Having
for
a laugh track up on stage
emphasis.
Well, answer that. I just want to get across that I think Richie kind of changed the end goal. It is to laugh, and you're right. Probably the average audience member does not even think about the list or the menu on there, and I think you're right. As Brett said, like it's the illusion of what the comic wants to say. You're right. I think it's one of those things like a comic would notice that.
I think other comedians care about
little minute
like
details,
well, because they don't know the process
audience.
that goes
but
behind
let me
it.
say
It's
this.
still an illusion for them.
That's the illusion of it.
Imagine you take out. Okay, so you're first off, you're in a high.
And we'll
stress,
go to that comment after Richie.
Yeah, you're in a high stress place where you have to entertain and make these people laugh. You have to think on the spot anyways. Why not have a reference you can go to so you can just work on your presentation, so you don't have to think okay, I have this whole catalog of jokes in my
certainly,
head.
yes.
Let me think here.
That's
Okay, let me think here. Now you're just working on
Right.
your presentation because you're looking down and glancing and be like, oh, that joke is going to kill in 2 seconds. And then so
It's all that.
Yeah, so you're not thinking the whole time and being like, well,
it takes away part of the work.
Devil's
and
advocate, it kind of takes away from your presentation, right? I mean, that's the only.
I don't think so.
I think it makes up with your thinking capabilities because now you're able to think
Right,
on
you're
the
sort of
spot.
outsourcing
You're
your-
using a calculator
Right.
instead of having to do all the math in your head. So now you're like,
There you
okay.
go. That's a good
these-
analogy.
Yeah.
It's like having the list out is like having a calculator on a math test. It's just
and it's legal.
Let's answer Shane's thing. Let's plug the last couple shows. We got some. What was the thing about, or was it Matt Pohl? Who was it about the hip hop thing?
Yeah, is there an
I
equivalent
read
to
that.
like a backing
Laugh
vocal?
track.
Because when the rappers, they rap over their own vocals. No, there's not. I mean,
a laugh track in like post production if you film something and
oh yeah. Okay,
sure.
after the filming,
You sweeten it up.
You
sweeten it up, sure.
Which is apparently something that is so easy to do, and I didn't know people did like.
Oh,
such
it's
a
so
crazy,
easy. I have a laugh track on my phone. I could follow you around and you.
Oh, I've literally seen Richie tell his own jokes and play a laugh track.
Would you be opposed to a
would
comic
be the
doing that on
equivalent.
stage?
And so I would also, I mean, we'll get to we have a winner also for the wristband, but the equivalent of it on stage.
A laugh track button on your phone.
Like having it, but that would have to be some Kaufman-esque kind of a
It's
thing,
like that
right?
Randy.
You would be
It's
making
like
a joke
that
of it.
Aziz Ansari Randy character.
Randy.
So brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
All right. So, just a reminder, North Texas Comedy Festival starts tomorrow at Killer's Tacos, 8 p.m., and it is going to end the one show we didn't touch at 8 p.m. that Saturday, October 7th, at Black Box Theater with Slade Ham from I Am Battle Comic, possibly on Netflix, headlining. And like we said, there's many of shows, activities, Bearded Monk, Backyard and Bell, Abbey Underground going on in between. We do have a winner today for the share, and comment. Congratulations on your 3-day wristband. Josh Thompson, everybody. Yes, 3-day wristband. Josh, reach out, I guess, to Denton Radio or Joe Coffee. Personally, you can reach out to me on Facebook. It's literally Joe Coffee. Message me, and I'll make sure you get that one of the days. If you don't have well, you clearly have a Facebook. But if not, also, I will be at Killer's Tacos tomorrow at 8 with your wristband. We will remind everybody about 35% of those proceeds are going towards charity. LOL for a cause.
Yep.
We are a non-profit. It's all for we want to help cultivate a scene, and we also it's all for a good cause. So we would appreciate anyone's support in our ventures. And we didn't even touch on weird news today. No, and
We didn't have to.
We didn't have to. No weird news.
We got a lot of information though about behind
Yeah.
the scenes of comedy.
And Jake, we can start that music. We got.
By the way, I do have a show also on Friday.
Plug that show
at Andy's. So
at Friday at
after
Andy's.
in between your time
In
of watching
between.
comedy, come and watch me, and I might be doing a lot of live magic during my rap performance. So
that is in between, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Or you could just go to Backyard on Bell at 7. So here's the deal, guys. Thursday we have Killer's Tacos, 8 p.m. Friday we have Backyard on Bell, 7 p.m. I should have said the headliners. Why am I blanking? Lawrence will be at Killers at 8. Backyard on Bell will be Latrice at 7. Abbey Underground will have Jay White Cotton on at 10 p.m. Then the Saturday, we have the 1 to 6 afternoon show. That has the Space Jam, the 007, the Improv, the stand-up with Saffron Herndon, Today Show, Ellen DeGeneres. You've seen her before. Then the late show, Slade Ham, I Am Battle Comic, Black Box Theater. Gonna be amazing. After party, Backyard on Bell. Brett, Stu, thank you guys very, very, very much. Here's to hoping.
Here's to what?
Here's to hoping.
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 Thank you guys. Episode 21. You're the best. Congratulations, Josh. Reach out to me. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.